couple friends and got a couple new ones. Upstairs and downstairs, the balcony. These oceanside views, the alchemy. Ain't nothing crazy like the city in the summertime. So when it's winter, I still be on my summer grind.
Handle your business. Handle your business.
Loyal and honor, don't break no bro codes. The more red rose, max with the rose gold. Whoever counted me out, they can't count. Oh!
Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know. What? Tell me something I don't know.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Obviously, they do everything big here in Dallas, and the introduction to the Cowboys, no exception. They're set for football in Big D as their guys will do battle with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone, and they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. First carry for Leonard Fournette, and he'll get this one up to the 26. Sean Lee, the Pro Bowler, there for the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? The ball gets bumped up. It's now 2nd and 4 after the penalty. After the penalty, it's Fournette. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
On the ground, this is T.J. Yeldon. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming. Operating from the gun, Morris. Open man is Westbrook, complete. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. Fournette, a first down carry. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Ohio! Let's go!
Here's Morris to throw on 2nd down. Being chased out left. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down. Now Morris, operating from the gun. The open man is short. It's complete. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. His first catch, good for 16 and a first. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want
to offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
Oh, now he bowls him over, and they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 12 more yards there and another first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
And as we've seen throughout this season, it's no picnic trying to score touchdowns against this unit. They're ranked number 1 against the run. But it's also difficult because it's not easy to throw the ball against them either.
Flex round! Flex round!
Morris now looking to throw on 2nd down. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Jaguars drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And that makes the score 7-0. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. Oh, Zeke with a quick feet. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. A really nice gain of 25 yards. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
47.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. To throw on 2nd down. Morris. He'll set up the screen to Fournette. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. And this now 3rd and 11 after that 2nd down completion actually went back a yard. Morris on third down. Steps away to his left. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up fourth down.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was third and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Hustle. Gun. Hey, boys, we got four. Four down. What do you think?
A second down throw for Prescott. Brought in here by Tyler Eifert. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Let's go, get out.
A first down carry by Elliott. And he's not even able to get back to the line of scrimmage. Now there's also a flag down, and it's in the area of holding. So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide, and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is 2nd down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice hit, boy. Let's go. Let's finish now. Here we go. 46. What do you think?
Prescott to throw this time. And now he'll tuck it and run. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
That's it, baby. Here we go. Get out. Watch tight end. Tight end's right. What do you think?
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Yannick Ngakoue in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. This is fielded at the 7. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. To throw is Morris. From the gun, he'll throw. Over the middle, hauled in by Shark. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. Here's Morris, operating from the gun. Dumps that off to Ware. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
They go back to the ground now with Fournette. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Tackle made there by Chidobe Awuzie.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Looking to throw. Morris. And he finds Safarian Jenkins. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
And they'll get him down right around the 16. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers. He's under 3 yards a carry at the moment. Back to throw. Morris dumps it off to Fournette. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss it.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. And Lambeau will put this one through, and the lead moves to 10-zip. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. As the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half.
Let's go. Let's finish now. Here we go. 47. Gun. 46.
Now this time he'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down.
Switch in 8. 47.
Key tight end.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Jaguars out on top. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Out come the Cowboys now as he'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Hustle. Here we go, 47.
Watch tight. Tight end's right.
What do you think?
2nd down, Prescott. To the left side here for Eifert. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he's got it to Hearns. And he's going to go out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Give him 30 yards there.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And the catch good. It's Eifert. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
We got 3.
On 2nd down, Elliott. They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On 3rd down, that's Austin. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. From the red zone now, Prescott. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Prescott again. Out to the flat, that's complete to his running back. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and they're going to have a 3rd down. This defense tightening up a bit. That last catch just 1 yard, making it 3rd and 9.
To the right. 26.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Calais Campbell in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. And Bailey able to knock it through. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. And for the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
They begin with a run by Fournette, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now Morris to throw on 2nd down. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. After the penalty, it's Elliott. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Tackle made there by the safety, Derwin James.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the past. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
Hey, we're going right there. We're going right there.
Prescott now on 2nd down. And Beasley with it over the middle. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. The Cowboys on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 15.
46. 26.
Prescott from the gun. Forced out to his left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a 1st down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the 3.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
The Jaguars getting set to go. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Morris now. Off play action. Sharks got it left side. That one goes for 24 yards. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. This guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
He'll check this one off to Fournette, and he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. It's a gain of 7, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Back now here on EA Sports. It's Jaguar football here, and they'll look to extend their lead as we begin quarter number 4. Morris looking to throw on 2nd down. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 11. To throw is Morris. From the gun, he'll throw. And he's got Moncrief. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. First time they've looked his way in this game, he comes through picking up the first. This quarterback now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're running right through it. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. They'll run it again with Fournette. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means it might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
That's a good job there, creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10.
Hey, we're going right there. We're going right there.
Hey, boys, we got 4 down.
And they'll run it here. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
They stay on the ground, but this time it's Elliott. And he'll be stopped up at the line of scrimmage with a flag down. Let's check on the call. That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
Now they face a second and long following the holding penalty.
46. 26.
Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Complete to the right side. It's Eifert. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. Now Prescott. And that's caught by Beasley. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. And that one good for 16 yards and a first. Prescott now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. First and 10. Prescott on first down. They'll roll him out, looking for Hearns, and it's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick, and they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Well, when someone other than the quarterback is throwing the football, it's either beautiful or a disaster, and here it was the latter. Nowhere in between, right? I mean, you're exactly right. It takes some fortitude to call that type of a play, but when it doesn't work, oh, boy, you wish you hadn't. A handoff to Fournette. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. And credit the tackle to Taco Charlton with a stop. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right? This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down. The Jaguars on third down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Morris, operating from the gun. He's got the hook up to Lee. A big 30-yard play on third. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. Here's a give to Fournette. Down to the 25. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play. Again, it's Fournette. And down inside the 15 he goes. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that. I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out. And now the Cowboys are going to call another timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. On second down, here's Fournette. And he'll take this one inside the 10, down to the 8.
And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as it comes with 1:04 left to go in the game. The Jaguars on 3rd down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This is 3rd and 4.
Flex round. Come on, let's go.
Now Leonard Fournette. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
How about the fellas with the stars on the side of their helmets rising up on defense? We always hear about the Cowboys' rushing offense. Their rush defense is pretty good as well, I think, because they're so cohesive. Defensive line, linebackers really work well together.
And Lambeau will put this one through. And that'll open the lead up to a touchdown now at 13-6. From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that...
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Down to 7 seconds now. 6. That's a 6'8", 300-pound man out of the U, Mr. Campbell.
Yes, and he came from Arizona to Jacksonville and didn't just bring that frame with him. He brought 14.5 sacks as well and created a new city